Ryan. Just wondering about the Clippers and how they had their front line and backcourt, Harden and Powell. What are you guys looking to do to redeem yourself from Sunday's game against Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, just looking to, go through scout, see what we can do, like you said, with Harden and Leonard in the backcourt, and then have a really strong front court. Just being able to, just stick to the game plan, make it tough on them as much as we can, and just be a little bit harder.
What exactly do you see about Powell in closing out on him when it makes it so much harder? Whereas Harden, of course, still being in the prime of his game.
Yeah, Harden, is a lot more, I want to say more rhythmic with the ball. He likes to get going with the ball in his hands while Powell comes off screens. He's more aggressive. He's not really trying to do too much. He's trying to use his body. So just be aggressive with him from the jump. Try to take protection him as much as we can.
Ryan, I'm sure this isn't where you guys expect it to be at this point in the season. I know injuries have played a part in it, but how would you kind of sum up how it's gotten to this point?
I think you said it's been a lot. Injuries, this is a good league with great teams, and sometimes we come out flat that we shouldn't do. And like you said, we're not where we're supposed to be, but we have a lot of season left, so we're not trying to really focus on the past right now. Just keep focusing on what we do to, get into play-in tournament, playoff tournament, get a seed or something like that. But just remain positive with this whole year.
Does it feel like something that you guys, like you mentioned the player, does that feel like something that's attainable for the group?
Yeah, I mean, if we have a chance to go get it, we're going to try to go get it. That's the biggest thing for us. We're not going to try to end the season off 21 games we have left. We have a good 21 games, a great matchup coming ahead. So focusing on tonight, getting the win tonight, and then trying to avalanche some more wins down the road.
Are you feeling a little bit, if this isn't closing out, that sense of urgency that it's trying to execute your full court?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we got to do. It's time to really start going and having to execute a good 48 minutes of a great game and do it for multiple games and being able to, just being able to come out and compete and have fun. Not going to put too much pressure on ourselves, but understand, we're at a time where it's urgent for us.
You've talked since the beginning of the season, understanding there are going to be highs and lows with performance, with minutes, all of that. How have you kind of approached the last week with the minutes being up?
Just trying to do the same thing that I did earlier in the year. Just trying to come out and just work hard and, be grateful for whatever minutes I got. Obviously, it's tough. You're not getting the minutes you want to get or, being able to play as much. But, I'm trying to be a team winner here, a team guy. And if I got to play as much minutes as I'm going to try to do.
Is it difficult to kind of maintain that confidence when you're not sure how much time you're going to get?
No, because I put a lot of work into my game. So, I trust myself and I know what my job is on this team. It's not like I'm trying to, I have to go prove something to coach to get more minutes left. No, it's just how much minutes I got to come into play, just do what I got to do the best.
No, go ahead.
Last thing I had was when you, both and Katie have talked about when things get tough, the communication kind of stops. How do you kind of go about fixing something like that? Because I know you guys all get along in the locker room.
Yeah.
How do you kind of push through something like that?
I think it's just trying to bring energy on the floor, something like that, and being able to speak up. As a rookie, trying to speak up as much as I can. Just being able to talk. If it gets down like that, something that we kind of experience. But on the floor as well, if it gets to a point where it's dead and we need to start getting some more life, just trying to bring it like that.
Would you attribute this to rookie growing pains, what you were talking about starting and then having less minutes over time? Because usually it's the other way around for most rookies when they come to the league, where they have to work for their spot to get started by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think you said it's growing pains. It's being my first year here and learning the ropes and learning how it is in the NBA. We're on a veteran team. This is a heavy team that's been in this situation. So I feel like they're putting guys in places that can help us get there. And I got to be grateful for whatever I get. I'm not trying to complain about anything that's going on. So it feels good, being on the floor and just coming to compete as hard as I can.
To Dana's point, has there been a physical adjustment when you go from 30 games to as many as you've been playing?
Can you repeat that one more time?
To Dana's point, when you go from 30 games in college to 80.
Yeah. Going from 30 to 50 in about 2 months is insane, but just taking care of my body, making sure I'm on task with everything, eating right, sleeping well, getting a lot more rest than I should. Like you said, the college season's almost over, and we've got 21 games left, so it's kind of crazy to think about that. But taking every day, we're grateful and grateful.
Yeah, yesterday, Coach Budenholzer was saying that the Clippers have a lot of length and bigs, a lot of size in their starting five. So what is it like going up against Harden and Powell and trying to stop them closing out on one or the other?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. They're great players. A lot of scoring firepower. James, obviously, a lot of playmaking comes with it. You know, he's been doing this for a long time. He knows. He's seen every coverage. He's seen every defensive scheme. He knows how to pick apart a defense. But you gotta try to make him uncomfortable. Try not to let them get in a rhythm. All it takes is one for them. You know, and they can heat up quick. So. It provides a tough challenge, but something that we're going to have to, be ready to go for.
With this iteration of the starting five having 3 7-footers and Kay, and also with Bull and Nick, how does that help going against the Clippers front line? But Budenholzer is saying a lot of size there.
Yeah, I think it helps. Just added length, some more rim protection, just bigger crowds. So again, they got a lot of firepower, but the more bodies you can show them, the more crowds, the less space they have, the more difficult it is to try to find your rhythm.
How do you like going into your 6-man role so far?
It's not my first time coming off the bench. That's something I did for my first 8 years of my career. So I know how to approach it. I know how to mentally, be engaged in the game and trying to come in and kind of find your rhythm and find the pace of the game, from the sideline first rather than being out there. So it's nothing new to me. I've done it before and just trying to help this team win.
I know this isn't where you guys expected to be at this point in the season, and injuries have played a part in that, but how would you kind of explain how you guys have gotten to this point?
I just think not playing our best basketball. Both ends of the floor, we just haven't played up to where we, honestly have needed to play. It just hasn't been good enough. We haven't been good enough. And that's kind of what it comes down to. We just simply haven't been good enough, haven't executed well enough, haven't played hard enough. And so that's something we gotta fix, and we got 21 more games to try to go on a run and close the gap and get into this play-in. So tension's got to be at intensity's got to be at an all-time high. Attention to detail's got to be at an all-time high. And every game right now, honestly, is a must-win.
To your point about that, being on the outside looking in on that play-in, does it feel like something that you guys can get done?
It does. We've shown at stretches this year that we can play really high-level basketball. We show it at stretches throughout each game. We just haven't put it together for a full 48, in a while, and we just feel like we're leaving so much on the table. But we definitely feel we're still confident. We know what we have in that locker room. We know when we're all together, when we're all clicking, what we're capable of, and so we're still confident in it.
Putting it together for a full 48, how much is this team kind of feeling that urgency with closing it out the season, just 21?
Yeah, like I just said, it's at an all-time high right now. The intensity, the attention to detail, the pressure's on, but we did that to ourselves. And again, each game, it's you can't afford to drop, any more games. Honestly, we need all the wins we can get. We got to close this gap. We're trying to, we're fighting for our life right now.
Luke and Kev have talked about when things get tough, it feels like the communication kind of shuts down and things get quiet. I know that you guys all seem to get along. So how do you kind of fix that when things get tough to continue to have those conversations and push through?
Yeah, I think we probably we probably get along too well to where we don't have enough tough combos. We don't, have those difficult conversations when things kind of get in a bad way. But again, I think that's also why we still believe, why we're still confident in what we can do down the stretches, because of, we don't have any, bad apples in the locker room. Like, we all get along. We got high character guys in there that believe in one another, and we're extremely talented, and we feel like we get clicking and we get on the same page, then we can go on a run.
You've come from a losing situation before, and so coming here, asking Brad yesterday about it, giving perspective and saying that you got to water the grass, to make it greener where you are.
Yeah.
And paraphrasing what he said. So, do you believe that same philosophy here? And even though you said that you're signing here to come win a championship?
Yeah, definitely. It's it's something where you got to just stick with it. The season's a long season. We've been in a bad way here for a little while, but at the same time, again, we feel like things can flip and can change quickly, and that's why you play the games. That's why you show up every day to practice, to continue to work. And so it starts with you got to take it game by game. So it starts with the game tonight. You got to get one and then try to build on that.
Quick aside from this season, but Tuesday marks the 5th anniversary of the NBA shutting down because of the pandemic. Do you remember where you were when you first got that call that this season would be postponed?
Yeah, we were. We flew to Portland from Memphis that day, so it was a long flight. We got to the hotel. I was watching the OKC game, and there had been kind of the rumors of like this new, virus that was going around that could be bad, but I feel like it was kind of like there's always a virus, you know what I mean? Or there always is the new sickness or the new flu strand or stuff like that. And so they stopped the game, and I think that was, for me, what kind of was the weird eerie feeling. And then we had a team meeting that night, and they kind of told us what was going to happen. And it was just, you just didn't know what to do. Like, you didn't know, no one knew anything. So no one, you didn't know if it was airborne, if it was on surfaces. So it was just this weird, confusing feeling. And we ended up flying back home the next morning. And I remember my wife was pregnant with our son, Junior, and so that added a whole different kind of dimension for us, just trying to keep her safe and healthy. And I think it was probably 1 or 2 days after that, they kind of canceled or postponed the season at the time. And yeah, it was just a weird time, but a time I'll vividly remember for the rest of my life, for sure.